Hello, 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 and welcome to the Wednesday Wind Down. I hope you guys are having a fabulous, a most amazing week. Today, I am going to talk about how pleasure anxiety, you know, could be wreaking havoc on your life. It could be keep wreaking havoc on your life. So I want to make sure that everyone who comes onto this post today shares this. It's so important. I want to make sure that it is going live on my group. It's so important that you share this. And the reason why is because a lot of times we have a tendency of operating in a bubble, especially us most amazing, fabulous alpha females will be operating in a bubble. Who's out there? Give me a shout out. Let me know you're watching, wherever you're watching from. I would love to know. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Natasha McCray. I am the Love CEO. I coach ambitious women how to keep their goals, their authentic goals, in the forefront of their minds, tap into real confidence, and unleash their feminine power. And the reason we do that is so that we can design the life that we want and attract the love that we desire. So for those of you who are just now meeting me, hello and welcome to the Wednesday Wind Down. I know it's wine, but I was feeling kind of warm cold, feeling kind of cold, and I needed to warm up. So let's talk about pleasure anxiety. Pleasure anxiety is something that a lot of people aren't talking about. And I'm not sure. I think there is a misconception in the world today when just pleasure in general, specifically for women, pleasure. And oftentimes when we're talking about pleasure, we're thinking about, sexual pleasure, which that is part of it. Let's not exclude it. But I'm talking about walking through life when you absolutely are enjoying your journey, you're loving life. That is where I want you to be. And something that I discovered over time is that pleasure anxiety could really be holding you back from having that. And let me tell you where that comes from. It comes from so many places. As a child, as a newborn baby, you are looking for pleasure. You are looking to be satisfied. That is, you want food, you need attention, you need to be held. And that is a natural inclination when you are born. And what happens is we go through life and we are told we're not supposed to cry for the things that we want. We're not supposed to want the things that we want. We're not supposed to make a big deal out of certain things, or an adult take something away from you. The pleasurable toy, the toy that you were taking pleasure in and enjoying, an adult took it away from you. A story that stands out to me, I'll never forget. I was in kindergarten and, I had like a little flower dress on. And I remember, my mom would always get my shoes from Stride Right. So they had the little leather shoes with the buckle on the side. And I was 5 years old. And we were going to lunch. And that day it was raining, so we had to have lunch inside. So we're having lunch inside. And my kindergarten teacher, I remember her being kind of mean and standoffish, but we had our lunch inside and something happened where we were being too rowdy, or I was talking too much or something at lunch. And so she made me put my lunch away and not eat my dessert. So my mom had packed me a lunch. It had the sandwich, the juice, the little fruit box, but there was a dessert in there, and it was a chocolate mud pie dessert. And I remember going to the back of the room because I wanted my dessert. Going to the back of the room, and I went to the back of the room, and I, kneeled down in my little cubby and opened up my lunchbox and took a bite out of dessert. And I look up, and the teacher is standing like right there. So I got in trouble. For that. And as I was studying pleasure anxiety, I thought about the reason why I always feel bad about wanting dessert. Why do I feel bad about wanting dessert? Who has trained us and conditioned us that dessert was bad? And dessert brings pleasure, honey. Come on, chocolate now? Yes. So I want you to think about how many times you've been told that it has to be hard for you to tap into certain things. How many times have you been told that if someone's being too nice to you, they must want something? How many times have you felt that? Over the course of, I want to say it's been about 4 weeks now, I have had on 4 separate occasions women tell me that they had broke it off with a guy because it felt too good. It was too intimate. He was the perfect guy for them at that time. Let me clarify that. The perfect guy for them at that time, but they broke it off. Because most of the time, I don't know if you're like this, but I was like this, where some things would be going smooth in my life, and I would just feel like, something's going to happen. Something is going to happen. And I want to make sure that I bring this to your attention, because if you are not walking through life, enjoying life, if you are constantly, giving to other people, these are some signs that there may be a challenge there. You're constantly deflecting anything that you can enjoy and giving it to other people. People pleasers have a tendency to have pleasure anxiety. You may not like massages. You might have trouble orgasming. And that is real. And I don't mean from a trauma, a childhood trauma, but a situation where you just cannot accept pleasure into your life. This is something that we have to talk about. And the reason we have to talk about is because I truly believe life should be pleasurable. Life is meant to be pleasurable. It's not meant to just be this situation where you're like, oh, life sucks. I went to work. I came home. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. It's like that's become the culture. The culture is, ooh, child, I'm tired. The culture it's almost to a point where the people who are actually enjoying themselves just kind of stop saying it. I don't want that to be you. For those of you who know me, they know over the last few months, I've been doing a free self-care workshop. It is how to become the CEO of your love life through real self-care. And there is a key in that will help you tap into your pleasure. So I want you all to join us at the workshop. The workshop starts November 9th. You can go, let me see where I'm always, y'all, just forgive me in my not having my little links together. I should have all my little links together, but I'm going to make sure I put these links in here because I want you guys to join me. It's a free workshop that I do. And the reason I have chosen to do this free is because I truly believe every woman on the planet should have the experience of a pleasurable experience. Every single woman, their life should be pleasurable. So signs that you may have, you may have pleasure anxiety that I mentioned before. Oh, I think I might have sent that twice, but signs that you might have pleasure anxiety is 1, you cut off things that feel good for you. You might stop being friends with people. You might be waiting for the ball to drop whenever things feel good. You might have anxiety itself when things feel good. You might be having anxiety. Another sign, I have my notes up, y'all. I want to make sure I give you guys these notes. I mentioned having an orgasm might be a challenge. You sabotage a good thing. Things don't feel right when everything is okay. It feels like things are supposed to hurt. And this has just been the culture. Let me explain to you that there's nothing wrong with you. It's just that is the culture. There is a culture right now that says you have to, everything's not supposed to always be roses. And I'm not, by saying things should feel good and life should feel good, we're not saying that it always has to be roses, but we are saying that the things that you can control should feel good. They should feel good. And the other stuff is released. So I want to make sure everyone gets the information for the self-care workshop. So it's bit.ly/November 9th workshop. So NOV, November is abbreviated, NOV 9th, the number 9, TH workshop. Go there. You will be able to register for the workshop. It is absolutely free. For those of you who have done the workshop, y'all know I give it my all for that week that I'm with you. And it's literally just a quick shot in the arm every morning for the week. This is going to help you have a self-care blueprint. It's going to help you eliminate that pleasure anxiety. It's going to help you design a pleasure plan. When you're done with the entire workshop, you'll have a self-care plan. So I want to make sure that you are taking advantage of that. But let's say for now, what do you do right now if you've noticed that you might be having some pleasure anxiety? Number one, awareness is key. Awareness is the number one step. I would ask that you journal. I would ask that you journal about it. Who else is out there? I saw Tiffany Francois. Hello, Tiffany. I would ask that you journal for yourself journal about this for yourself, because journaling is going to be the number one key. And then I would encourage you to just think of one thing that is absolutely pleasurable for you. One thing that's absolutely pleasurable for you, and do that thing within the next 48 hours. Within the next 48 hours, I would encourage you to do that. So that is just a little bit about pleasure anxiety. I know I went a little deep. I mean, come on, who's talking about this? Most people aren't talking about this. They want to just tell you how, life should feel good. And they're not saying, hey, sometimes there are blocks. Sometimes, we got to dive deep. I had to dive deep and figure out what were these freaking blocks that were keeping me from enjoying my life? What were these blocks that were keeping me from dealing with the same kind of guy? I dealt with the exact same kind of guy for the first 33 years of my life. Come on. It is wild. They were this same guy in a different body. And I would say that part of it was I wasn't used to things feeling good. Like I wouldn't have been able to identify a great guy even if I saw one. I mean, well, I might have been able to, but I was scared as hell. I was afraid of them. I was afraid of the nice guys because, you don't know what you're going to get. You don't know what you're going to get. All right. Does anyone have any questions about pleasure anxiety before I jump off of here? Let me know. Have you heard of that before? I want to know if you heard about pleasure anxiety before, because it's a real thing. It's something that will hold people back, and no one wants to really talk about this. No one wants to talk about it. And I think it's so important that we have these open conversations. We dialogue about it. Someone said, no, they never heard about pleasure anxiety. Does it resonate? Does what I just said resonate? And there's so many things that are out there when we think about making our lives how we want them to be. And I think it's a matter of setting up processes and rituals around how you want to live your life. And pleasure should be a part of your life. Pleasure should, and I know I said should a couple of times today. I don't want to should on anyone. Pleasure is meant to be a part of your life. Oh, no problem. Yeah, Deshay, jump on that. I broke down a little bit about pleasure anxiety. You might have heard some of it because you've been in the workshop, but I really want to make sure that I'm allowing people to think from a different perspective. That's the main thing. In our lives, we have so many different perspectives and perceptions of things. You could be in a family of 4, and each person in your family is going to have a different perspective about how a traumatic event happened in your family. But we want to honor who you are. We want to honor you. And so many times I've found, especially now with the holidays coming up, I really want to do this self-care workshop before the holidays came up, because I want to make sure that you've laid that foundation for you to be number one. You've laid the foundation for you to be number one. And part of that is pleasure, honey. Pleasure. Janet Jackson had it right. Pleasure principle. Yeah. All right. So I'm not going to hold you guys any longer. I'm going to go chat it up with my husband before I jump on the girlfriend's chat. But 2 things I want you to do is journal about whether you feel you're having pleasure anxiety. Yeah, Janet Jackson. Hey, Christy. Journal about whether you have pleasure anxiety, because it is a real thing. And then I want you to take control. I'm on Janet Jackson tonight. I want you to take control and choose to implement a pleasurable experience in your life within the next 48 hours. And register for the workshop. Register for the workshop, because I'm going to walk you through how to put yourself first, how to stay true to your most authentic goals. We're going to give you the blueprint for that. And that's going to help you start building that real confidence, not the puffed up confidence that gets us through, and that's okay. And it'll also give you an opportunity to start tapping into your feminine strength. And what that does is allow you to start attracting those things that you really want into your life. The workshop starts November 9th. It's bit.ly/NOV9TH workshop, the number 9TH workshop. And I will see y'all there. Oh, something I had that. I'll see you guys there. Have an amazing, amazing day. Make it a great week. Bye.